Welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. So today we will going to discuss the first part of the group 15 elements. Group 15 elements are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Okay, are you sure about that? And these elements have very important properties. These elements sometimes are also referred as pinocogens because these are suffocating type of compounds are able to form from them, so they are called as pinocogens. So I am repeating once more, it is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. So look at that. So it is popularly known as group 15 elements. Okay, it is flanked by carbon family from one side and oxygen family from the other sides. And very interesting to say that they have configuration of ns2np3. So this is half-filled p orbitals gives the elements a unique properties. Okay, so I'm repeating once more, these are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Nitrogen is symbolized as N, phosphorus as P, arsenic as As, antimony as Sb, and bismuth as Bi. So these are the various symbol of these elements, and you have to keep in your mind. And most importantly, what they have, these elements have valence shell configuration of ns2 np3. You have to remember that. Okay, so let's look at the view once more. So it is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. And if going by the configuration I told you, it is ns2 np3. So in case of nitrogen, valence shell is second, so it is 2s2 2p3. Okay, in case of phosphorus, it is 3s2 3p3. In case of arsenic, it is 4s2 4p3. In case of antimony, it is 5s2 5p3. And in case of bismuth, it is 6s2 6p3. Okay, so these things you have to memorize in your mind. And if you look at that, the atomic radii is what? Atomic radii continuously increases if we move left top to bottom in the group because of the addition of more and more quantum shell. So from top to the bottom, atomic size, what? Atomic size increases. Atomic size increases. And look at that here now, also melting point also there. Okay, if you talk about the melting point, then what you observe that in case of phosphorus, white melting point is low while red melting point is very large. Okay, so here first there will be an increase from nitrogen to phosphorus, then phosphorus to arsenic, but after that again there is a decrease from arsenic to antimony, and then it again decreases to bismuth. Similarly, their boiling point of the elemental state is what? First it increases, okay, and then it goes on increasing because of what? Because of the increased van der Waals attraction. First ionization energy also decreases down the group. Okay, density increases down the group. And common physical properties means nitrogen exists as N2 and normally in gaseous state, while sulfur exists as P4 tetrahedral unit. Okay, similar in case of arsenic and antimony and bismuth. So you have to keep into taken all those things in your mind. Now look at that physical properties. Now all the elements of this group are polyatomic except nitrogen, which is a diatomic, and they show allotropy and catenation. Nitrogen in one case also give catenation up to 3 atoms, that is in case of azide ion. Okay, but in elemental state nitrogen is diatomic, where NN bond, single bond is very weak, so it exists as a molecule having triple bond. Okay, so it has 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bond. It has 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bond. Metallic character increases down the group due to the decrease in the ionization enthalpy and increase in the atomic size. So nitrogen and phosphorus are typical nonmetals. Antimony and arsenic are metalloids, and bismuth is a metal, or you can say metallic in nature. So nitrogen being able to satisfy its octet. Okay, look at that, octet has been satisfied like that. Okay, so nitrogen octet is satisfied, so it exists as a diatomic gas because it can satisfy its octet by forming p-pi bonding. While in case of phosphorus, arsenic and antimony, they exist as a polyatomic species because their inability to form p-pi bonding with themselves. So they forms only sigma bond in between them. Now if you look at the electronic configuration is ns2 np3 in all the elements. The s orbital in this case is completely filled and the p orbital is half filled, and this half filling of the p orbital make it slightly extra stable. You know that fully filled and half filled orbitals are more stable. Atomic and anionic radii, covalent and ionic radii increases as we move down the group because of addition of new and new quantum shell. Okay, so there is a increase in the atomic size from nitrogen to phosphorus, phosphorus to arsenic, arsenic to antimony, like that. However, from arsenic to bismuth only a very small increase happens. This is due to the fact that in between arsenic and bismuth there is d electrons and f electrons also, and d and f electrons have very poor shielding effect, so they are not able to shield their valence electron effectively. So these valence electron, they experience an extra charge from the nucleus. Now look at ionization enthalpy. The ionization enthalpy decreases down the group due to the gradual increase in the atomic size. Due to the gradual decrease in the atomic size, the valence electrons, they becomes far away from the nuclei, and due to that the nuclei can exert a little effect on the valence electron. So ionization enthalpy, especially the first two ionization enthalpy of the element is very less. Now ionization enthalpy of group 15 is much more greater than that of group 14 in the corresponding period. There are two reasons for that. Number one, half filled p orbitals and more stable atomic size or smaller atomic size. Okay, I am repeating once more to you. The first IP of the group 15 element is much greater than the group 14. The reason being that in case of group 15 element, the p block is, the p sublevel is half filled. The p sublevel is half filled. Now I already told you about their physical properties, that they are polyatomic. Nitrogen is the only diatomic gas while the others are solids. Metallic character increases down the group. Nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Arsenic and antimony are metalloids, and bismuth is metal due to decrease in ionization enthalpy and increase in atomic size. Remember that bismuth shows different property than the other element of the group because bismuth comes after the lanthanides. So it experiences all the post lanthanides, you can say effects like its valence electrons are poorly shielded, okay, and it experiences a high nuclear charge than the expected values, okay. The boiling point in general increases from top to bottom in the group, but the melting point decreases. Sorry, melting point increases up to arsenic and then decreases up to bismuth. So that's point you have to remember that. Okay, that boiling point will generally what increase, but the melting point there is no regularity is there. Up to arsenic there is an increase, and then after that there is a decrease. And except nitrogen, all the elements show allotropy. But I already told you that in case of azide ion, in case of the azide ion, nitrogen shows what? Nitrogen can shows the allotropic, okay, or the catenation property you can say. Nitrogen does not show have any drop, but it can show. So I am repeating once more that physical properties, that these elements are polyatomic, dinitrogen is diatomic, metallic character increases down the group, nitrogen, phosphorus are non-metals, arsenic and antimony are metalloids, while bismuth is a typical metal. Okay, their metallic character increases down the group due to the fact that there is a gradual decrease in the ionization enthalpy, and there is an increase in the atomic size as we move down. Except nitrogen, all the elements shows allotropy. Now look at that compounds of hydrogen. Now all group 15 elements they form hydride EH3. What is that? If it is NH3, it is called what? It is called the ammonia. PH3 is called phosphine. ASH3 is called arsine. SbH3 are called as stibine, and BiH3 is called bismuthine. So all these names must be remembered by you. Okay, these are all hydrides of group 15. Okay. Now their basic character decreases in the order. As we move down the group, basic character decreases. Okay, ammonia is a very mild reducing agent, but BiH3 is a very strong reducing agent. So it means reducing character of the hydrides increases down the group. Okay, next is the stability of the hydride decreases from ammonia to BiH3, bismuthine. It is called as bismuthine. So stability of the hydride decreases as we move down the group. Similarly, they can form compound with the oxygen. It forms two type of oxide. One is E2O5, other is E2O5. Okay, clearly that the oxides of higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic than the lower oxygen state, and the acidic character of the oxide decreases down the group. Okay, so we will discuss that later on. First, we will to take into account the hydrides. I am repeating once more. Hydrides, they all form hydrides, and when you heat the elements with the hydrogen, the corresponding hydrides are obtained. Nitrogen will give you amine, ammonia, phosphorus will give you phosphine, arsenic will give you arsine, while antimony will give you antimony. It is called as the stibine, and bismuth will give you bismuthine. So all these names must be known to you. The stability of the hydride decreases down the group. The basic character decreases down the group. The bond angle decreases down the group. Stability decreases down the group. The only part that is increasing is the reducing nature. Means tendency to give electron increases down the group. Now I told you already their name is what? NH3 is called ammonia. NH3 is called what? It is called ammonia. PH3 called phosphine. ASH3 called arsine. SbH3 called stibine, and BH3 called bismuthine. Okay, these are the hydrides of group 15. Hydrides of group 15. Number one property. What is the number one property? All the hydrides are strong reducing agent and react with metal ions to give phosphide, arsenide, and antimonides. Okay, are you sure about that? So all of them are what? All of them are able to form hydride, and most important, all these hydrides are highly poisonous in nature. And more interestingly, all the hydrides are colorless gases. So ammonia is not, but other gases are what? They are poisonous in nature. They are poison in nature. Are in all of them are covalent in nature. Okay, but all do not show what, and all do not show the same type of hybridization. There is a misconception is involved there, that in all the cases the central atom is sp3 hybridized. No, only in case of what? Only in case of ammonia and phosphorus you can say the hybridization happens. In the lower members no hybridization happens and only pure p orbitals are formed there. Okay, okay, we have already discussed that in chemical bonding under the concept of Drago's rule. The bond angle in the the bond angle is directly proportional to electronegativity of the central atom. It means more the electronegativity of central atom, more will be the bond angle. So it indicates strongly that the bond angle is maximum in ammonia and it is minimum in case of what? It is minimum in case of bismuthine. Minimum in case of what? Minimum in case of bismuthine. So this simple thing you have to be keep in your mind. Now if you look at that property here, what we are observing that melting point, what? Melting point, it is what? The melting point first decreases and then again it increases continuously. Okay, sure about that? Now boiling point first, it what? Boiling point in the first case is slightly large due to what? Due to hydrogen bonding. I already told you that in case of ammonia there is a presence of what? There is a presence of hydrogen bonding. Look at that here. The bond length increases as we move down the group. Bond angle decreases as we move down the group. Okay, similarly here bond energy continuously per mole decreases. So first bond length increases and bond energy decreases. I am repeating once more, bond length increases and bond energy decreases. Dipole moment also decreases as we move down. I am repeating once more, dipole moment decreases as we move down. Are you sure about that? Similarly, enthalpy of formation, first it decreases, okay, and then again it increases. It means it is negative in the case, so it means it is exothermic in first two cases and it is endothermic in last three cases, which indicates that in case of higher elements the hydride is not stable. The hydride is not stable. The thermal stability what? The thermal stability decreases. The thermal stability decreases as we move. Okay, sure about that? I am repeating once more. The thermal stability decreases as we move down the group. Now, first of all, thermal stability. Okay, the thermal stability of the various group the thermal stability decreases as we move down the group. Are you sure about that? So thermal stability decreases as we move down the group. The reason being that in case of the higher element, the thermal stability is higher because of what? Because of the higher ionic character. Because of highly ionic character, the percentage of ionic compound is more in ammonia, or you can say ammonia got high value of dipole moment. Okay, but that electronegativity decreases as we move down the group. So as the electronegativity decreases down the group, it means the difference between the electronegativity of element and hydrogen, it also decreases. Why? Because the two values come close together. So you can say that due to the difference in electronegativity value high in case of low November, in case of ammonia and phosphine, the nature of the hydride is mostly ionic in nature. But as we move down the group, the nature of the hydride is covalent in nature. So here we can say that in the stability of the or thermal stability of the hydrides of group 15, okay, the you can the percentage ionic character and the percentage covalent character, it does matter. Similarly, bond dissociation enthalpy. The bond dissociation enthalpy, it is directly proportional to stability of the hydrides. So it means when ammonia, phosphine, they are more stable. So it means their bond dissociation enthalpy is also large. So bond dissociation enthalpy decreases down the group. If stability decreases, it means reducing nature increases. So that's why reducing nature increases down the group. Okay, because of the weakening of the element hydrogen bond. As the element hydrogen bond strength decreases, as the element to hydrogen bond strength decreases, what has happened? It means reducing character. What do you mean by decreases? It means reducing nature also increases. So reducing nature increases as the stability decreases as we move down the group. Okay, are you sure about that? After that, you have the basic character. Now, if the electronegativity of the central element is high, the lone pair will be closer to the central metal atom. But if the electronegativity of the central atom is low, then the lone pair of electron is less involved with the atom. So what has happened that basic character decreases down the group because ammonia being comparison to bismuthine. Okay. Now after that we will discuss the melting point. The melting point increases on increasing molar mass because van der Waals force of attraction increases. But due to hydrogen bonding, ammonia expected to show the higher melting point. So expected order is that ammonia must have the lowest value of melting point, but actually phosphine has the lowest value of melting point. So ammonia is second only to bismuthine in this case. So So you can say that all other hydrides of group 15 are have, you can say, less area in comparison to bismuthine. Ammonia is able to show higher melting point due to its ability to form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Similarly, in case of boiling point also, expected line is that as we move down the group, the boiling point increases. But here also, exception comes out of what? Exception comes out that due to hydrogen bonding, due to formation of hydrogen bonding, the ammonia is able to show higher boiling point. The ammonia is able to show higher boiling point. Similarly, dipole moment. As we move down the group, the electronegativity of the central metal atom, it decreases. So, and dipole moment from atom, it will move towards what? Lone pair. Okay. So, this movement of bond pair towards the lone pair is maximum in case of ammonia. What I am trying to say that here bond moment of NH is in the direction of nitrogen, and due to presence of lone pair, the net dipole moment also is in the direction of the lone pair. So this is called additive. What is called what? Additive in nature. Here in this case, the vector are additive in nature. So that's why dipole moment of ammonia is greater than that of dipole moment of the other hydrides. Next you will have what? You will have structure of the hydrides. Now in all these hydrides, NH3 and PH3, the central atom is sp3 hybridized. The central atom is sp3 hybridized. But the other, in case of phosphine, arsenine, antimony, bismuthine, so all these, especially these three are, in them the pure p orbital is involved in the bonding with hydrogen. Okay, no hybridization occur, and that's why the bond angle in these three hydrides is nearly similar to that of the p block, that is 90 degree. So I'm repeating once more: arsine, stibine and bismuthine. Okay, in all of these cases, the pure p orbital is involved in the bonding with the hydrogen atom. You have to understand that. And ammonia being what? Ammonia being the sp3 hybridized, and it has one lone pair. Its structure is pyramidal. So I am repeating once more that only ammonia is able to what? Undergo hybridization. Okay, other elements like PH3, ASH3, SPH3 and BIH3, they will use what? So they will use the pure p orbitals for bonding purposes. Are you sure about that? Clearly understood? So among hydrides, what happen? Among hydrides, one of the lone pair in case of ammonia is occupied by the lone pair. One of the hybrid lobe is occupied by the lone pair. But in case of phosphine, what is happening here? It is happening that pure s orbital is occupying what? Is occupying the lone pair. So when pure s orbital, the lone pair is occupied, so it is easier to lose or to donate electron from the lone pair donation from the sp3 hybrid orbital, and very difficult to give the lone pair present in an s orbital. Are you getting that in your mind now?